Hey YouTube, welcome to my wood shop, or well actually my kitchen. In the meantime, there's a blizzard going on at the moment and I have crossed over to the dark side, I'm ashamed to admit, and I pulled my car into the garage. So I do feel bad about that, sorry. To start with this project, I need to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in the military for about 10 years now. And if you're another service member, it's safe to say you've ran into some unique people. Some people you're totally fine with never seeing again, but on the rare occasion you run into somebody who you end up being really good friends with, and they enrich your life in various different ways. This project is a gift for a friend who's like that for me, and it's pretty interesting. What I want to do here is a segmented epoxy ring, and I'm going to use this metallic mica powder for the coloring on the outer parts of the ring, and on the interior part I'm going to stain it red. Since she's from Texas, I decided I'm going to see if some Texas Pete hot sauce will do the trick in the epoxy. So let's get started. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and mix up equal parts resin and hardener to get a good deal of epoxy here. There we go. I think I'm going to do a little bit more because I'm going to be making 2 of these just in case I completely goof up the first one on the lathe later. That's about. Boop. Okay. Shit. I definitely overdid it. Okay. You need to mix this stuff up like crazy, or it will not work right. It'll get real tacky and it'll stay sticky, which you don't want for an item of jewelry, I would imagine. I'm not the biggest wearer of jewelry, so my wrap career didn't go so well. So it says to stir it for about 2 minutes or so, and then put it back in the other cup and make sure you get everything off the sides, and then stir it for a couple more minutes. So we'll give it the old college try and see how it comes out here. Okay, so I've stirred this for about solid 5 minutes maybe at this point. I have some rose red colored mica or metallic mica powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and dye this, and we'll see how it ends up looking. So here, if you can see in there, it pretty much looks like makeup. So I really hope I didn't pay $9 for a thing of makeup. I'm gonna put about half a penny's worth on here because I don't like actual measuring cups for some reason. And we'll see how this color goes. I may add more, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what I'm doing here, so we'll see. But that is turning metallic pink, like right off the bat. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to stir this a whole lot more, I bet, to get all those clumps and stuff out. This might be a terrible idea. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. But it's fun regardless, so can't hurt if it's fun. I guess we'll go ahead and pour these guys into the molds, which are Jello shot containers. I don't know what else to call them, but this is one Jello shot you do not want to drink. So try to pour these evenly. The thickness on these guys really doesn't matter because we can always sand them off after turning. What does matter is the thickness of the Next layer I'll put in once this has cured. That'll be the epoxy with the hot sauce in it, the hot sauce resin. So we'll see how it goes. This might be awesome. This might be a gigantic mistake on my part, but I have high hopes. You can't be mad at me for that. And here's what the epoxy looks like. I put one of the macro lenses on my camera, and you can see all the little sparkles and flecks and stuff in there. I think this is gonna turn out pretty cool once it finally dries. So I've let the pink metallic epoxy dry for 2 days now, so that stuff should be cured. And I am whipping up another batch here, and I'm gonna see how this hot sauce turns out, because this is ridiculous. And this should be interesting, so. And I'll add some Texas Pete here. I don't even know if the acidity in this or whatever will affect the epoxy or how it cures. This is so stupid. All right, let's get crazy here. That's kind of like turning like an orange or something. I have no idea how this will affect the epoxy. That's actually kind of cool. I mean, it's a cool color, and I think it'll look good against the paint, given my limited understanding of fashion, actually, but it might be cool. I don't know. It's homemade, and what girl doesn't like that stuff? I'm gonna put a drop of this right there so I can test that, see if it gets tacky or when it's cured. There we go. So I think these two colors kind of look good. Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. It's really anybody's guess at this point. And I'm gonna do a real thin layer here. That might be perfect, actually. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm amazing. Hot sauce epoxy. Okay, I'm gonna let this cure and we'll put the final layer of epoxy on it in a few days. Okay, so this is the end product. It seems pretty solid, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a 5/8 Forstner bit through it, which should be a size 6 ring size. It seems insanely tiny. Nice little ring hole. Yeah. Here I'm gouging out the jam chuck to put the ring blank onto. This was initially difficult for me. I felt like I was putting too much pressure onto the epoxy, and it's very smooth, so it had a tendency to try to slide off the jam chuck that I put it on. I ended up having to put some blue painter's tape on the jam chuck, and that held it in nicely. And everything went a lot quicker once there was a lot more friction on there. Once I had the general shape, I used 320 grit sandpaper to rough out the actual shape and thickness that I wanted, and then went up through the grits to 1200 to polish it out and buffed it. And the final step in the finishing process, I'm adding some CA glue to give it a nice shiny finish and hopefully add some more rigidity to the ring itself. Followed by buffing that out with a buffer pad and some quadruple zero steel wool. And there we have it. One size 6 ladies ring turned out of epoxy and hot sauce on the lathe, and very stylish. I have no idea honestly if this is stylish or even worth giving, but I am kind of disappointed in the contrast here, but you can see the layer of hot sauce right in the middle, so that's actually pretty cool. So there you have it. This was interesting since it was my first time making jewelry or a ring or anything this small and delicate on the lathe. So hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks for checking it out. I'm Seth, and thanks for hanging out in my wood shop.